Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. This is a compilation video. It's about the map Karelia in assault mode, and it's going to show you a method that you can use to directly enter the enemy base immediately at the beginning of the game. And the reason why you use this strategy is, number one, you're going to get a lot of EXP, presuming that you survive. Number two, it's good for doing things like spotting damage. Number three, it's a lot of fun. Number four, you can totally distract the enemy team, create complete havoc for the enemy team. And number five, it will encourage your team to assault the enemy. If you have a team that tends to camp, which is, pretty much every team. You've played this game before. You know what it's like. Everybody sits back and camps. This maneuver fixes all those problems, but it is risky. A slow tank is much higher risk. You're going to find in these compilation videos that the slower the tank I had, the less likely I was to make it. But I would like to point out I've made it with the TOG, which is the slowest tank that I own. I've made it multiple times with the TOG. Once I did it with a platoon of 3 people plus 2 others. There were 5 of us that went up into the entranceway, which is in front of me, all at the same time. I had other games that were really interesting that I don't remember. I had games where I just rolled up, crested over the ridge, spotted all their artillery, and my artillery would just start bombarding them immediately and would take out their artillery. So this compilation of videos is going to be about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less. It's going to show you different attempts. It's going to be about 20 different videos, about half of which were easily successful. Successful means you make it here to this location and you cause damage to tanks. And then there's going to be another half where I didn't make it. Usually, again, when I don't make it, it's either because my tank is too slow, so it takes a long time to get there and they spot me on the way there, or it's going to be because they're very aggressive about defending, so they send out a lot of scouts, and I get scouted early and I get lots of fire, because when you're scouted first, you're going to take lots of fire. That's the bush that you're going to roll into to spot from. Let's see a few other tips. It's safer to be on the right side as opposed to the left side, is my experience. When you're in danger, you want to roll back out the entrance where you came. That's the safest place. You could be confronted by lots of tanks. There's going to be one video where there's going to be like 6 tanks around me against me, and they're all going to die. Because if you have good ally support, your allies will take them out, and you'll finish them off. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the videos. There's going to be some where I fail, and there's going to be people that say, "Oh, you're an idiot. You play like an idiot." I don't care about what they have to say. Last of all, this is not my compilation of my best videos of the Karelia assault. This is the best videos I've already compiled, rendered, uploaded to YouTube. They're already on YouTube. This is me going through all my older videos and saying, oh, I've got a bunch of assault videos that didn't make the cut. Maybe I didn't get 4 kills. Maybe I only got 3 kills. Or maybe I only got 2 kills or 1 kill. This is from that set of videos. Or the ones where I completely failed and didn't make it. I wish I had a TOG video. I do have the TOG videos. Maybe there'll be one in this compilation, I don't know, but what I do know is that they were from a long time ago, and I don't have the ability to play the replays. So there might be a surprise for you with a TOG video assaulting up in the middle on Karelia. Otherwise, enjoy the videos, and let's get into the show. And remember, if you have any questions or comments, feel free at any time to post at the bottom of the video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-69. It's an American Tier 8 medium tank. The map is Karelia in assault mode. This is one of the older maps. This is from May of 2015, so it doesn't have the place for the SPG to hide on the defending team, nor does it have the weird rock formation at the base area, at the entrance to the base area. So I no longer have the T69, but I do have the replay. And this is actually going to be a very good game for me. I'm going to end up getting 5 kills in this game. Unfortunately, I didn't make a record of it, so I have not uploaded it to YouTube yet. But as you can see, this MT25, you know, he's a troublemaker. We don't want him. We got to take him out. He would normally be a problem. Unfortunately, I didn't do such a great job taking him out, but at least he's gone. You don't want people like him in the game because he's going to keep me spotted, and he's going to make it difficult for me to assault the enemy team. Okay, so you want to hide behind rocks as much as possible. You want to advance through the trees. Excuse me. And you want to get to that main entrance. Like I said, if you play the game today, it's going to be a little bit different. The formations have changed. I don't know the reason why they changed the formations. Oh, maybe they did part of it because of the new domination mode. They'd made a few changes. Okay, so as you can see, it's very clear over here. If you can take shots to help your allies out, you definitely want to do it. Take advantage of your position. Always hide in a bush if you can. Yeah, so that hit them pretty hard. So that's going to help the team out a lot to weaken out those tanks. Even if I didn't get the kills, bringing their hit points down is going to make a huge advantage for that flank. When you go up the middle, this is still a safe area, but once you crest over the top here, you got to be real careful. You want to roll into that bush. Don't be surprised if you spot SPGs. You can see that there's nobody here. Wow, there's an SPG. He's gone. It looks like the base is empty. Usually there's tanks waiting for me somewhere. Lousy shot. You'll note that the tank that was to the right had a lot less hit points, so it made a lot of sense to shoot for that tank. The other thing is, I'm not going to go on that base because I don't want that timer to start running. I'm only going to go on the base if I think it's to my advantage. If I need to grab the enemy's attention and draw them to the base, I will get on it. But otherwise, I want to snipe at them from behind. From a distance. I ain't going to run out there. Even if I got to miss a couple shots, no big deal. Creates a lot of problems for them. They're flanked and they don't even realize it. When their SPG died, he didn't warn them. He just left the game. And this Emil here, I don't know if it's a Sturmpanzer or whatever they call it, he's apparently unaware that I'm here, along with the T-150. Oh, so sorry. Let that one run out, that's for sure. So the Emil got hit pretty hard too. Did the SPG take him? No, it was a tank destroyer. An SU-100 killed the Emil. The score is 11-8. I got 2 kills. Now the enemy has to fight their way back to their own base. And I am ready to go. And I know that there's some guys out here just waiting to get their butt kicked. Oh, you're going to come back, are you? I don't think so. You need to have a very high level of awareness I really screwed up that aiming that gun, but that is 4 kills. And I believe it's the STA-1 is out there. I am reloading my gun also. The STA-1, he's a one-shot. And the Chi-Ri, I don't know where the Chi-Ri is. But I'm going to guess that he's probably out there too. So we got 4 kills. Our team is starting to cap, which means that the enemy does have to return to the base. This Tiger 2 is talking about his Top Gun. I think he's actually going to get it. I don't remember. But I seem to recall something like that happening. So the Chi-Ri and the STA, they're both one-shots. Or he's got 14 hit points left. I'm pretty sure that the Tiger 2 is going to get this last tank, not me. Yeah, there he goes. The Tiger 2 got him. Okay, so that was a game. It was 15-9. It was an easy game for my team. And the reason why was because I went up the middle. I created... Well, there was nobody there, first of all. And then I was able to create havoc afterwards by flanking the enemy, shooting him in the butt. Got some great shots, set 2 tanks on fire. Whether I did it or my allies did it is irrelevant. The enemy did a really lousy job of retreating and defending their base. What happened in the south, I really don't know, but in the north, I definitely helped clean up on the enemy. You'll see it in video after video. That's the way you do it. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a Centurion Mark I. This is a British Tier 8 medium tank, and the map is Karelia in assault mode. This is part of a compilation of videos that show you how easy it is to assault up the middle, as I say, which means that I'm going to go through these trees, I'm going to go to the enemy base, roll right into their base, create havoc, and I am going to be the bad boy, and I'm going to destroy a lot of tanks. And in fact, this game is going to be one of the better games that I've had. I actually haven't watched this replay in a long time, but based on my notes, I'm going to do a lot of damage, kill a lot of tanks. I'm going to get 4 kills in this game. You can see I haven't been spotted yet. This is probably already on YouTube as a separate video, and I don't like to repeat videos, which is why a lot of the videos you see in this compilation are going to be not so good, because the best ones are already on YouTube. So if you want to see more of me assaulting up the middle, check YouTube for individual videos of Karelia in assault mode. You can see we've spotted a T-30. I doubt he's going to live very long. He's already got shots coming in from somewhere. It's good for me. I'm getting the spotting damage. He's probably AFK. And you can see there's a KV-3. Haven't taken any damage yet. There's a KV-3 I got to deal with. And that's my first kill. It's really good when you have allies supporting you. When you have allies supporting you, you will have a lot more success. You can see that there's another tank coming after me, the T-30. So at this point, we've already established... Oh, look at that. Poor T-30. Not doing too good. He is getting nailed big time. And he's the only one on the enemy team that's spotted. Oh, so sorry. So sorry. He is hiding from a Centurion. And look at all the enemy tanks. The E-25 came back. Look at that map. The E-25, the KV-3, the Centurion. Was it 2 T-30s? And then we've got other tanks. The IS-6. All coming back out of battle because of one tank, me. Already got 2 kills. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means 6 tanks. I distracted or destroyed 6 tanks. Makes it very easy for my team to push forward. It makes it very difficult for the enemy team. And like I said, this is one of my good games. It's not one of the crappy ones that you're going to see later on. You can see that that tank is gone. I got a lucky shot in to kill him off. The E-25, he's dead. Four kills. I mean, I could die right now. I guarantee you I got top EXP in this game just for what I already did. Another tank destroyer, just disappeared off the map. The score is 5-0. It was a SU-122-44. The IS-6 is hurting. He's about to die. Well, I think this is one where I could have killed him, but I missed it. Yeah. Someone else is going to get him, I think. Just barely missed him. That could have been a 5th kill. Happens sometimes. The score is 7-0. I absolutely guarantee you it was because of me. I killed 4 tanks. I led to 2 other tanks being destroyed. That right there is 6 tanks. I don't know about the 7th tank. Maybe the SU-122-44 was the 7th tank. You can look down the list. Look at the enemy tanks that are dead. IS-8, 2 T-30s, IS-6, Centurion 1, E-25, SU-122-44. It's the IS-8 that I don't know where he was. So you see, I roll into my bush here, which is what I use to keep myself some cover. KV-3 is still alive. We want to approach the nearest enemy tank, which is going to be the KV-3. Or it could be this T-25. Look at how quickly he went down. He's gone. And another one's gone. All I had to do was roll into their base. The score is 10-1. It's only been 4 minutes. If I did not do this, the score would be 0-0. That's too bad. Sometimes I get on their cap and sometimes I don't. It depends on how I feel. I have a philosophy now that I avoid getting on the cap. But sometimes if you want to really put some stress on them, you get on the cap, get those sirens going. It might be an artillery that ends up killing me, because they know I'm here. And they're probably very mad at me. Anytime an artillery turns, it means that they have to re-aim. So it looks like, oh yeah, it was a T-54. Those tanks, I hate those T-54s. They come after me so much. Okay, so that was a game. Look at the score, 13-2. I guarantee you I got top EXP. It was a great game. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching the replay just as much as I enjoyed playing the game. This is why I use a technique going up the middle. It confuses the enemy. It causes them to retreat. You can distract a lot of enemy tanks. As you can see, the 6 or 7 tanks in the beginning that were all focused on me was probably only the beginning of the story. There were more tanks that had to focus on me, like that T-54. He had to come back and leave wherever he was, allowing my team. Look at them swarming in on him. You know, they're going to get him. They're going to spank him hard. The technique works. You get rewarded with the EXP. It's going to work. Now, there's a lot of videos that I've prepared. You're going to see that I failed in a lot of my attempts. Failure to me does not mean I'm not going to try. The wins outweigh the failures. Because you could fail anywhere. You could fail anywhere on the map. The number of times you win are totally worth it. And usually when you fail, it's because you have a very slow tank, like a Yag Tiger, or you have someone like the T-54. People like the T-54 can be a problem. The people who are aggressive and they know who to go after. If you get spotted in the middle of the field, you don't want somebody like him who says, I know that this guy's a problem, I'm going to go get him. Then you got to watch your back. Okay, so that was the replay. We got a lot of replays for you to watch. I hope you enjoy them. And keep in mind, you're welcome to post any comments below. If you would like to join my clan, you're welcome to apply to join CBKS. We also have a second clan, CBKS2, for lower tier players. And we have an SPG clan, CBSPG, for people who like to play artillery at least 15% of the time, or for people who like to support artillery, such as tank destroyers. Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the AMX M445. It's a French Tier 7 heavy tank. The map is Karelia. You'll notice I'm doing an assault from the southern side. I'm going through the river because this is a rather slow tank. It's easy to detect. It's not going to go that much slow in the water, but it's going to be less likely to be detected in the water. So I'm using the water, and probably I'm going to cut up before the rock over here. And I can't tell you how this game ends up because I did not pre-screen these replays. I'm just playing them, watching it as it goes. But I do know that we're probably going to have a good game. Okay, so you can see that I'm going through the trees. You'll hear me mention it in the other videos. I think there used to be more trees a year and a half ago, and I think it's easier from the north than from the south. Excuse me. You can see that a leopard is going to the central area, but he didn't go right to the entrance. And it looks like somebody spotted me. Oh, beautiful shot, Dave. Oh! Okay, pay very close attention. You'll note that this map is a map where you can enter the crest of the hill and spot the enemy SPG. As opposed, this is a game from May of 2015. Today, which is I believe July 27th or whatever, 2015, you can no longer do that because they changed the mountain, the map in the background, so that the SPGs have places to hide, and they changed the entranceway. So we're going to see something a little bit different than what you've seen in the other videos. This is an example where somebody spotted that SPG. I don't know who did it, but somebody did. I was able to nail them, and that was the weakness in this game, because anybody could roll in and spot all the SPGs immediately, and I used to do it all the time. So you can see there's a Chaffee who came out in the middle. I'm sure he's not going to live very long. Obviously I'm exposing the rear of my tank, which is really bad, but that's okay because he's also really dead. And it looks like perhaps an ally may have hit me. Either an ally hit me or the fact that my tank was reversed. I don't know. Okay, so let's continue onwards. Let's go enter the enemy base area. I'm going to show you how easy it is. And the funny part is the enemy must know that I'm here. I mean, the Chaffee just fought with me. You can see that the enemy is a little bit weak now. It's already 2 minutes into the game. Notice that the entrance here is different than it is in the current version of the game. And this again was around mid-May 2015. You can see that it's very easy to spot the artillery and knock them out. But you can't do that anymore. In the current version, you can't do it. I've already got 2 kills. The score is 5-2. This is the bush that I usually roll into to kind of obscure myself. He has no idea that I'm there. Okay, so I just got spotted. Again, the tanks on the left usually you don't have to worry about. It's more so the ones that are on the right or in the center because of the slope of the terrain. Now, even though those tanks are alive, they're distracted. You know, they should be defending their base from an onslaught that's coming from the north, which actually is no longer happening. But when they're pointed at me and I'm just sitting there, it distracts them and it allows my team to get shots on them, because they're being flanked right now. The score is 8-6. And again, I don't know how this game is going to end. But it looks like it's going to end for some of these guys real soon. So that's 3 kills. Oh. Oh, it would have been so nice if I nailed them. 9-6. They're not doing too good. Oh, there's 2 guys out there shooting at me. And I'm a one-shot now. I probably should have assaulted from the other side. That's 4 kills. Okay, so that's 4 kills. That's the AMX M445. The map is Karelia. The score is 10-8. I expect it to work out good for my team. You know, it's too early to tell. You'll note that we still have the 2 snipers up on the ridge where the near the spawn, and the 3 SPGs, and we've got those. It's kind of confusing over here. Those 2 tanks over there, they have really good health. Enemy's not doing so good. I think we're going to end up doing well, but I'm not going to go to the end of the game. Instead, we're going to move on. I'm going to show you another similar game. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-69. It's an American Tier 8 medium tank. The map is Karelia. This is an assault game. I'm on the assaulting team. I am going to go through this swampy area, through the trees, around the rocks. I'm going to enter the enemy base, and I'm going to create havoc for the enemy team. I'm going to drive them absolutely crazy, and we're going to win this game. And this is how you do it. And I've done this so many times. You know, I've easily done this 100 times. Done it with every type of tank. I own 60 different tanks right now. So I've done it with a large variety of tanks. I do not own the T-69 anymore. I did this game about 2 months ago. So you can see it was very easy. I rolled right in. Perhaps I even spotted a couple of enemy tanks. It looks like I came to a position just to park for a moment to see if I could take some shots on that T-29. But then we're going to get to business. We are going to roll into the enemy base. We're going to create paranoia. You're going to notice that my team is not assaulting. They're pretty much they didn't go that far from their spawns. Well, some of them did. But they're pretty much not assaulting. I would have been much further into enemy territory, whether I was in the north or the south, than what my team is doing right now. So I'm about to enter the enemy base. You're going to see the technique I use. I usually use the bush on the right for cover. It's absolutely safer to go on the right than on the left side. You'll note that the T-29 is behaving in a manner as though he hasn't spotted me, although the Centurion does have his gun aimed right at me. But what's good for me is bad for them, because they're probably going to get nailed real hard. All I got to do is spot them. We've got 3 tank destroyers sniping behind me. We have artillery. The score is already 3-0. There's a lot of enemy tanks right in front of me. And you can see that I'm taking shots from the field, which means that they're turning away from my allies and they're focusing on me. As long as you can sit in this location and shoot at enemy tanks, you should shoot at enemy tanks. When you run out of targets, you return to the assault mode, whereby you enter the enemy base. We already know that there's a couple of tanks there, and they may have forgotten about me or they may have repositioned. But because they're probably fearful, they're probably in the same place that they always were. And they're probably watching me, doing nothing. So I've reloaded. Looks like they brought one of their buddies. You notice that they're not pointing at me, so I'm getting some shots in. I probably could have fired more. It's possible. Now they've got a problem. You know, they've got me flanking them, and they've got other tanks which are actually quite far away, but they're concerned about two different flanks now, when before they only had to be worried about one flank. So right now it's hard for them to play the game. You'll note that I was spotted. Obviously, if I'm spotted, I'm not going to sit there. And you do have to keep on moving. This is a game with artillery. What I need to do is constantly keep those tanks spotted so that my allies will take shots at them. And take a shot whenever I can. If he's pointing his gun at me right now, then it's good for my team, because he's not firing at one of my allies. It allows my allies to move closer, which you see that's what's happening. My allies are now advancing on the front line. And with me being the safety line, they know that up until me it's safe for them to advance. Okay, my allies have shown up. They didn't want to do the distance sniping, so we're going to have more of a close combat battle. It's no big deal. Now you can see what's going on. It's okay. The score is 8-6. I don't know where the enemy team is, but it looks like they're surrounded. You know, we haven't really surrounded them, but it looks like they're in a tough spot. The enemy team is now grouped into one small location with the threat of snipers and players like me putting pressure on them. And their base, now they have to fight their way to their base. And they're not going to like that. So I'm predicting an easy win. Obviously it is me playing. I already know what the outcome is going to be. But whatever they do from this point onward is a stupid move, because they allowed me to roll into their base and expose their positions. I missed a shot, unfortunately. Missed an easy shot. But that does happen. So now I'm going to safely reload. The score is 9-6. We've got them pinned down for the most part. It's only a matter of time before the enemy loses. You see, they're all in striking distance, even though they're also striking me, unfortunately. One thing that I want to point out is that this is the wrong position for me to be firing. You want your gun to be over the corner of the tank, and that's the corner of the tank right there. You want the gun over the corner, not to the right, not to the left. Let's see if we can get another view. This is what it looks like when you're aiming at the enemy. You know, he sees the side of my tank, but you don't want it to be that way. You want him to see the corner of your tank like this, which means that your gun needs to be pointed over the corner of the tank, and which is essentially the track. So that's one of the things that I did wrong in this particular position, which could have helped me in terms of staying alive or not receiving damage. So I did get one kill. I have to reload. To reload, you basically maneuver to get as close as possible to a rock. The score is 12-7. They just lost another. It looks like I was going to go after that tank, but he's now gone. It's now 13-7. We've got a Jackson in front of us. I'm not, and the ISU also is in front of us. Come on. Come on, cowboy. Well, it looks like they're going to be cleaned up before I can get a chance to get a final shot in. But that's the game, 15-7. Plus, we're capping them. We're at 54 capture points on their base. We've got a lot of tanks alive on our team. And the reason why is because when I rolled into their base, it was very easy for me to get to their base. The few tanks that were there, which I believe was a T-34 and a Centurion, they were distracted, so they were not defending anymore. They had their guns pointed at me, but they couldn't get a shot in. The SPG, I believe they had an SPG. He was smart enough to relocate. He knew he was in danger. So while they were wasting their time with me, it made it easier for my allies to slowly advance forward. I don't recall... I think that they were the front lines. I mean, you'll have to replay the video to see what it was like. I don't remember. But I seem to recall that when I was up against that T-34 and the Centurion, oh, you know what? We hadn't spotted the rest of their tanks, so I wouldn't know. Me being at the entrance allows my allies to know that it's safe to advance to my position, so they had the confidence to move through. We kept some of them spotted. Didn't see any major hits from my spotting, but we definitely surrounded the enemy team and we sat on them hard. And this is absolutely a successful game, and this is a successful use of the technique. And they probably had no idea what hit them. And if you read the comments as the game was playing, our team was very happy that we had a winning game. Okay, so on to the next game. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the Indian Panzer. This is a German Tier 8 medium tank. The map is Karelia. This is my standard maneuver going up the middle. Please excuse me for the delay. This is a standard path I take, and I do it with any tank. I'll do it with slow tanks and fast tanks. I think it's easier to do it on the northern side as opposed to the southern side. There are enemy tanks that are being spotted. We want our allies to kill those tanks as quickly as possible. So, for example, that Hellcat, I'll sit here at the ridge until the Hellcat's dead. And I'll help with these spotters like the VK that are off in the distance. I got a really good shot on that guy. Looks like a tank, the A-44, just jumped over the edge. I have no idea why. Take him out. You can see that the enemy is going into a swarm mode. They're starting to swarm on my location. I probably should have killed the A-44, but you know, the SU-100, he's not doing so well. Looks like I was a little confused about what was going on here. So we got one kill. Obviously, I could easily destroy the Hellcat. He's no match for me. But my allies will just as easily take him out. And there he goes. Okay, so I got one kill. We've got 3 dead tanks around me. The score is 5-2. It looks like their spotters are dead, and now I'm going to proceed to head up the middle. They did change the rock formation to make it a little bit more confusing. When you do come around, right here you're perfectly safe. Most tanks are afraid to come over here. And usually I'm not confronted by anyone when I come up, so this is actually quite rare. But it's bad for them because, look, my allies are pummeling them. They're not going to last long. So that's 2 kills. And it looks like I've got an ally on the surface level, which is great. It distracts the enemy, makes my job a lot easier. Usually you don't have to worry about the tanks that are on the left. Because of the slope of the land, they usually can't hit you. It's the ones on the right and the ones in the background you got to be a little bit more worried about. Like that Tiger 2. Now the key is to keep them spotted. The score is 9-5 right now. Keeping them spotted allows your snipers to hit them. And not only does it allow your snipers to hit them, but you're going to get 50% or whatever the shared amount of experience is because you're doing the spotting damage. You'll notice he shot at me. That's a good sign. If he shoots at me, I can go in and shoot at him. Don't have to worry about him being reloaded. There's no SPGs on his team. And he doesn't really have the excellent support that I have. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can just basically sit at this ridge level. This is the point where, for safety, you roll back, and when you're ready to go forward, you go forward. This is the line right here. When you need to reload, you head back to this position. When you need safety. You can see another tank came up the middle. Now that Tiger 2's got problems. The score is 11-6. This is, it's a relatively fast game. It's only been 5 minutes, and we're definitely dominating. Tiger 2 is gone. Now we can go after that A43. He's gone. And now we're defending their base. They gotta fight their way to come back to their base. Okay. Keep on hitting them. 14-7. This is an excellent game. It's an excellent example of how this type of maneuver absolutely turns the tide in the game. I am sure that you have played this game sufficiently to know that the assaulting teams are usually very slow to assault. I turn that around. I totally turn it around. I assault immediately every time I play an assaulting map, and I motivate my team. I give them a safe position that they can enter. I give them lots of targets that they can shoot at. It is very dangerous. I was on low hit points for a large portion of this game. And look, he's got it, like I said, he's got to fight his way back to his base. So this was a very good game. I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be some videos where I didn't make it, but I hope you remember this. It pays off. The gameplay that I did is going to get me in the top experience for the team, absolutely. I'm sorry I don't have the numbers for all of these replays, but I guarantee you it pays off to play with this type of a technique, and you become a better player. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the IS-2. It's a Chinese Tier 7 heavy tank, and the map is Karelia. You'll notice that I'm taking the southern route. I'm using the water, and the fact that I'm staying half in the water to keep up my speed, but I'm down low so that I can't be spotted from people that are in the distance. There's no way the enemy can spot me from here. And before I get to that rock, I'm probably going to head up through those trees and head towards the enemy base. And I have not pre-screened any of these replays. This was from around 2 months ago. You'll note that if you look at the A1 and the B2 area, this is an older map from May of 2015, so it doesn't have the little hiding place for the SPG units. So if I pop over the crest onto their base area, I'll be able to spot any of their SPGs that are in plain sight. Again, I haven't pre-screened these games, so I don't know if this is going to be a winning... Actually, I happen to know that the team is probably going to win, and I'm going to get some action, but it's not going to be like a killer game for me or anything. Okay, so you can see that I was spotted, but I only saw one incoming shot, which means it was really safe to get into here. You can see that the entranceway is a lot different back then than it is now. Like, if you look at this entranceway, you can really roll in. I don't know why they added all that stuff in the beginning. It doesn't make it any more difficult. The bush is still there. You use that bush to kind of hide in so that they can't see you sneak in. You can see that I've probably spotted that SPG. Or at least somebody did. I don't know if it was me, but it looks like I'm the closest. So the SPG, you know, on this map, they die real fast. Somebody's obviously spazzing out. Who knows why. So it's actually really safe to cross over here, except for that T-37 who snuck in. If it were me today, I would have advanced already. It looks like I'm being a little bit cautious here. But you really have to have a good awareness of what's going on around you, because you've got 3 different flanks and your rear flank. You really have 4 flanks you got to watch out for. And you're going to find a lot of tough tanks are camping out at their base. It's not like you come in here and all their easy tanks are going to be here. This is all the people that are too lazy to leave the base because their tank is too strong and they're too pretty to get hit by somebody. Looks like I missed a key shot, but I'm sure I'll be able to finish that T-37 off. His days are numbered. As you can see, an ally took a shot at him, which is really cool. So he's gone. One of his friends showed up, which is going to be bad news for his friend. Now, we only have 1 sniper up on the hill. But as long as I keep that guy spotted, we're going to create difficulty for that KV-3. And as you can see, whenever you can take a chance at helping out your allies off in the distance, definitely do so. Because you can absolutely create panic. I could have sworn a moment ago he was on full health. Maybe I was wrong. Looks like an ally showed up, which I think is great, as long as they don't get in my way. I appreciate when allies are in the area. You can see I got that shot across the map. Well, I did have a shot. I didn't take it, though. Wasn't reloaded. But it's perfectly safe for me to be here as long as you're aware of the artillery. I mean, that KV-3, what he's doing is very dangerous, considering that I've got sniping support. Yeah, see, look, they're going after him right now. Not good for him. Yeah, he's gone. The reason why this is a great maneuver is because you get all that experience. You're the only one spotting those people. I'm probably going to have the top EXP for the team. You can see someone is coming up behind me. I don't know if he's going to be the one that's going to finish me off or not. But he's definitely a concern. And he's getting hit. Yeah, I think he's gonna finish me off. I'm obviously not in a good. I did the absolute wrong thing. I should have charged him. Oh no, it wasn't. It was one of those German Berlin tanks. Okay, so I should have charged that tank. It's irrelevant. He's dead anyway. I did get 1 kill. The score is 14-8. There's 1 tank left in the game. As you can see, we are at the enemy base. We control the game. I made it very easy for the team because, you know, I was basically at their base at the beginning of the game. And I made it very easy for the team. Let's move on to the next game. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-44. It's, I believe it's a Russian Tier 8 medium tank, and the map is Karelia. You can see I'm doing my normal maneuver. Every time I play this map, I do the exact same thing. I go up the middle. There's an SU-101 who's going with me. I think it's easier to do it on the northern side. There's more trees and more rocks and things like that. I seem to have a lot more success going this way, and you have a lot more success when you go with a faster tank. And I could have sworn there used to be far more trees. I think they thinned out the trees. I've done this maneuver with fast tanks and slow tanks. I've done it with the TOG numerous times. But these are games for the past 2 months. We see we've got a disabled tank over here. Oh, so sorry. But he would have kept us spotted, so he's got to die. So those 2 tanks are dead. I got 1 kill. And there's another tank who is... Oh, we got 2 other tanks. We got one in the middle and one who's at the edge there. We don't want that AMX to be alive. So it looks like the 2 problems are now gone. So there's a bush over here on the right, and there's one on the left. That's the bush right there. And then there's a bush right there. Those are the bushes you want to use when you do your approach. You don't want to do what this guy next to me did. You want to roll into that bush, see who's out there, and then advance. The low, I don't know if he's AFK or not. We're going to find out. But you want to spot tanks and have your allies shoot at them. It used to be that you would roll across and the SPGs were all exposed, but they changed the game to move the SPGs into the background there, so probably because of people like me rolling into the base. So the low looks like he's not responding, but I'm not sure if that's going to be for the entire game. It doesn't matter if I kill him or if my SPGs kill him. I'm still going to get experience for any damage he gets because I'm the one that spotted him. It looks like the other tank that was with me is gone. The LTTV, yeah, he's out of the game. The score's also 5-1, so we're actually doing a really good job here. You'll notice that I needed to do a repair for my ammo rack. I wonder why the reload is so long. Really bad position. That SU-152 could totally nail me. Okay, so I got 2 kills. We've got an AFK tank. So this would be a successful assault on the enemy team. And my allies are now also arriving at the base. So the enemy, you know, they got problems now. The score is 9-1. And obviously I can't take the credit for everything because tanks did come with me and make it a lot easier. But this maneuver can totally change the course of the game. And you're going to get top EXP for the team because of all the spotting damage, because you were shooting at the same tanks that were self-spotted. You get more experience, things like that. And whatever their formula is, it rewards you for this type of strategy. So the score is 12-1. Got 2 kills. It's weird. They only have 1 kill. Everybody on our team, except for that LTTV. Okay, so even though I died, it's really irrelevant. The most I would have gotten, it's 14-2. The most I would have gotten is perhaps 1 more penetration. If I had gotten 1 more penetration, it would have killed that tank because I can do enough damage probably with this gun. Okay, so that was a successful run on the enemy team. That shows you how it's done. It was a fight, and like I said, when you come in, if you get spotted on the way in, the enemy team tends to hang around the base a lot longer. And if they anticipate that you might try to come up the center, they might try to defend. Usually they don't. But I would like to add, people are a lot better at this than they were 2 years ago. So you're going to expect a lot more... there's going to be more defenses nowadays than a few years than you would have gotten 2 years ago. On to the next game. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the IS-8. It's a Russian Tier 9 heavy tank. The map is Karelia. This is an assault game. I'm assaulting from the southern side. As you can see, there is a tank in front of me, a medium tank, a little bit faster than me. I would say that one of the things I probably should have done was be more in the water. I'm trying to be, I guess over here I'm not going to be spotted, but I'm trying to be, use the slope to protect me. And we've got a tank that needs to go. You know, we can't have that guy there. He's going to be a problem. He's a high priority. He's going to be a pain in the butt. We got to get rid of him. Okay, he's gone. So we've got the T-49, we've got the T-54 and me. I have the feeling that the T-49 is just scouting around, and I think that the T-54 is probably interested in assaulting up the middle just like I am. Unfortunately, I'm going to be a lot slower to get there. And it doesn't mean he's going to get all the spotting damage that I should have gotten. Now remember, if you watch my videos, almost never does anybody else go up the middle. I'm almost always going alone, and the reason why is because most people don't do it. So you can see he's attracted a lot of attention at the base. He's making it is difficult for me to get to the base. I don't know who's shooting at me. He's already got the attention. But I don't know if he knows the technique. So we've got a lot of enemy tanks at the base. Not good. You want your allies to hit those tanks as much as possible. You know, he's going up and he's not shooting. Those tanks are spotted anyway. I think he just wants to spot tanks. So we've got some shots coming in. It looks like we've got one artillery on our team. The enemy artillery is already dead. Oh, goodbye. So that's my first kill. And that's my second kill. The score is 4-1. Now, because he's doing his maneuvers, it doesn't make sense for me to do mine. I'm not going to spot anybody. And number two, it makes things a little bit crowded because you will bump into each other. You don't want to be behind somebody. If they need to run for cover in this type of a situation, they'll slam right into you. You could kill an ally just by being in the wrong position at the entrance to the base. So you can see I'm trying to help out my other ally here. The score is 7-3, so we are ahead. You can see that the base is cleared out. We don't see anybody spotted on the base anymore. And there goes my tank. Oh, that nasty little T-54. I was trying to kill him, and he killed me back. Okay, so that's the game. As I was saying, you can see that we caused havoc. We killed tanks at their base. They probably thought, oh, I'm going to stay at the base and I'm going to snipe. They do that because they don't want to get hit. But look at what happened. They got hit hard. We rolled right into their base. We knocked out their SPG, got 2 dead tanks. We got an SU in the background there who's got some damage. The score is 75. I know we're not way ahead or anything, but this is the maneuver that you use. You can have great results with this maneuver. Keep on watching my videos. You'll see that it can be very easy to create havoc for the enemy team. For example, the one video where it's like me against 6 tanks, it really pulls their attention away from the focus of the game and allows your team to advance and move on. Okay, so that was the IS-8. Let's move on to the next video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the AMX 1390. It's a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Karelia. It's an assault mode, and I'm going to assault up the middle. Perhaps the M41 Bulldog might be going the same way. I don't know. But basically, you want to drive through the trees. Try to, you don't want to crash into the rocks, so you got to kind of know where the rocks are. I think I always have more success on the northern side and less success on the southern side. You can see that the enemy is sending out light tanks to deal with us. We'll have to find out what happens here. But I'm still heading for cover. The safest position is to be along the cliff on the enemy side. Okay, so you can see I got 2 kills. I've got a reload. I made it to the enemy side. That's the bush I roll into to check to see what's going on. We've got a Waffenträger. He's at full health. But considering that he's been spotted, people are going to start shooting at him. Now I have to reload, so I'm going to get out of there as much as possible. They tend to be afraid to leave their base, and it actually is bad for them to leave the base. I want them to leave their base. But what's important for me is that my allies hit them, and I hope that they do. We've got 3 SPGs. I hope they nail that T-28 prototype. You can see that I'm hugging the side of the cliff as much as possible, and I'm going to go respot him immediately. If he's unspotted, then my allies can't hit him. It's too bad I missed a chance to go in and nail him. And the Waffenträger got me. Okay, so we're going to get into another video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheatbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the Type 4 Cheeto. It's a Japanese Tier 6 medium tank, and the map is Karelia. This is a maneuver going up the middle. The technique is, of course, to try to stay within the trees as much as possible. It works better with a fast tank. Try to use rocks for cover as much as you can. If anybody spots you, you want to duck behind a rock somewhere. But you definitely want to keep on moving. Now, there's a high risk when I shoot at this LTTB. There's a high risk that I will get spotted. But that tank has to die. You know, if he's alive, he's going to be a big problem for me, so he has to go. You can see another tank came out, which is right behind me, the M4. Very rare. Usually the tanks are afraid to come into the middle. Usually I make it to the center unopposed. It's rare that I encounter anybody. Obviously, when you have a slower tank, you run into a lot more difficulties. And with a fast tank, you just breeze on through. Ideally, if a tank is spotted, you want your allies to hit him as much as possible. It keeps you hidden and protects you from being shot at by the enemy, obviously. Taken way too many hits. But I don't give up. Okay, so we got rid of one of those spotters. Very important to get rid of them. The M4 is still alive, and he's still going to... Oh, maybe he's dead now. One of the drawbacks of this type of maneuver is that if you get spotted, the enemy's going to hang around at the base a little bit longer, which means it's going to be a little bit more difficult to complete the maneuver. And you do ideally want to arrive at the enemy base with full health. Having 18 hit points is not very much. The most that we've done in terms of quantity of people going up as one group was 5 people. I had a platoon with 2 of my clan members, and we went up the middle all together, and 2 other tanks came with us. So we had 5 tanks going up the middle. We all got there at about the same time. So you can see that I'm not in the proper path. They've got a lot of camps, a lot of tanks camping out at base. But I'm only halfway there. I've only made it halfway to where I want to go. Unfortunately, being the easy target that I am, if they do spot me at the cliff area, I'm sure tons of them will just jump off to hit me. I don't know why I'm using these high explosive rounds. It could be that I was working on a mission that required me to to have a certain number of hits, and that's probably why I have the high explosive rounds. Or it could be a mission where I had to do critical hits, damaging internal modules, injuring the crew members. That's another reason why. You can see that we have the VK-2801. He's at the center area, and we've got a heavy tank, the IS-3, who's approaching the center area. So this, I would say, you know, my allies have already shown up at the enemy base. And as far as I was not the first one there, which, you know, defeats the purpose of the technique. You know, if your allies are already there clearing everybody out, then the skill involved has gone away. And it looks like I'm taking a different route. Okay, so this is going outside of the purpose of the series of videos, so I'm going to stop it here, and we're going to move on to the next video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-34-1. The map is Karelia. I'm showing you an assault mode. This time is from the south. It shows you how easy it is. You can stay in the river if you want, if you have a slow tank. Stay in the trees. Try not to knock any trees down. Try to keep the rocks as a destination point, because they will protect you if you get spotted, and they will provide you with cover. They will also prevent you from being spotted. So basically you want to head through the trees as much as possible. It looks like someone did take a shot at me, so I was spotted. And there's a lot of tanks over there. Normally I don't have to stop, but this looks like one of those games where I do have to stop. Tanks will be shooting at me. My allies will be shooting back at them. And the key is to get to that center entranceway. And that's obviously an artillery shot. Because I'm probably the only one spotted in the game, obviously artillery is going to shoot at me first. Usually the enemy stays on its ridge. They rarely come out to try and chase after me. Oh, it looks like they did. All you got to do is spot them and hide. Let your allies shoot at them. It looks like my allies are starting to hit them. So spot them and then hide. Put them in a vulnerable position. It looks like they are taking shots. And I haven't taken any damage yet. That guy just... Oh, look at that. He's almost gone. I bet you I could kill him right now. Well, it looks like he's gone. Okay, so that's one down. The Cromwell is on his last legs. You want to keep those tanks spotted. Sitting behind the rock is not the strategy. If the enemy disappears, you know there's three of them there, you want to keep them spotted so your allies can continue to shoot at them. It used to be open over here. You used to be able to go on both sides of that rock formation, but they made it a little bit more difficult. I don't know why they did this, but it is something that they did do. Cromwell, I just need to hit him with one shot. He's dead. Looks like I missed. This tank probably does around 300 damage per shot. I'm not sure. Let them get hit by the artillery. There's some shots coming in. Guy got caught on fire. He's dead. This is your safe area right here. It's a lot safer now to enter their base than it was 2 minutes ago, for example. I don't know if... Okay, that tank is on his last legs. He's gone. I probably should have used the sharpshooter mode. That was a little bit of a mistake. And there's still people shooting at me, and I've got half of my hit points left. There's that bush. I always go right for that bush. The AMX 5100, there's no way he can hit me, so don't worry about him. So there's a bush right there. That's the bush you sneak in on. I guarantee you he's not going to see you if you sneak in on that bush. The AMX 12T, he got hit pretty hard from my spotting him. I don't recommend going to the left bush, considering that the SU-100Y is sitting there. I don't know if he spotted me or not. Oh, now we got a Firefly. The SU-100Y is out of the game. The score is 4-3. So a lot of the tanks that I spotted are now 100% dead. Firefly is hurting. You can see my team is really advancing. They're pushing in pretty well. Firefly pings off of me, which is wonderful. AMX 5100, he can't hit me because of the slope of the land. He won't be able to hit me. And also I've got a tank there to give me a little bit of that dead tank is going to give me some added protection. Now because I'm here, it also distracts the enemy. The enemy is supposed to be defending against my team assaulting, but they can't shoot at me and the assaulting team. They've been flanked, essentially. So now I'm advancing. Usually I advance here very quickly. This was a more difficult game. We've got the gun carrier there. Took one to the noggin. Okay, so that's the game. I've got a lot more videos I want to show you about what might happen, so we're going to get into another video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the IS-2. This is a Chinese Tier 7 heavy tank. The map is Karelia. In assault mode, I'm on the assaulting team. You can see I'm doing my standard maneuver, which I do every time I play this game. Basically, drive through the trees just at the edge of the water, amongst the rocks. Try to go right up the center onto their base camp area. Spot tanks. Let your allies hit as many tanks as possible. Collect that spotting damage, and you end up getting top EXP for your team. And not only that, you can turn the course of the battle. You can turn a weak team into a strong team. You can see that T-69 is also doing a similar maneuver. Would like to add, a year and a half ago, I used to do this all the time. Nobody was ever doing this. I was the only one that ever did it. And now a lot of people do it. So it's something that a lot of people know about now. And when I am on the defending team, I have to defend against this more often. But what people don't realize when I'm defending, when they come up the middle, what they don't understand is I've done this so many times. I know everything that could possibly happen. So I'm always prepared. They never surprise me. I will have a series of videos about how to defend when people assault up the middle, which will be a separate recording. So as you can see, I don't think I've been spotted yet, and I've got a clear route to get to the middle there. Whatever you want to do, stay close to the rock formations over here. If somebody spots you, you head directly towards them, because they can't shoot down unless they dive over the edge of the cliff. Over here is your safe area. Once you get into the crest over here is where it starts to become risky. You're going to roll into that bush. Looks like I've been spotted, so you got to get ready to pull out your guns. We've got two artilleries, and we're going to find out if our artillery takes shots at these guys. It looks like one of our artillery is in the J1 area, which means that he's probably not going to. He looks like he's doing close fire. But you want to spot these tanks and hope that your allies get some targets to shoot at. So we know that we have to gauge what's here. It looks like there's two enemy tanks at the base that we need to worry about. One behind the rock in front of me, and the Tiger II. So I'm heading towards the first source of danger. Oh, too bad. You want to head to the closest source of danger, which is the ISU-152, because you're going to have the safest route approaching him. And someone hit him for like 600 or 700 damage. So I've already caused damage to the enemy team without firing at him. Now I want to make it clear, even though I died, spotted 4 tanks maybe, when push comes to shove and they compute the end game results, I'm going to be one of the top EXP earners. And I know you're going to laugh and say, no, that can't be possible. Yes, it is. I'm going to get the spotting damage for the ISU, which is going to be around 600 hit points. I'm going to get a little bit for spotting tanks if you get anything at all. I don't know if there was any other tanks that took any damage on the way in, but the game rewards you when you shoot at a tank and do damage to it. You get more experience than if you shoot at a tank that someone else spotted. Number two, I get half the experience for anyone else that hit those tanks. Number three, I don't know what it is, but I do these maneuvers and I get great experience. I have the feeling that the game probably rewards you for spotting tanks early in the game, for getting damage early in the game, for being close to the enemy when you do the damage, and for just in general doing more in the beginning of the game, being closer to the enemy. I get a lot more experience, even if I have a lousy game. And sometimes I'm even confused myself. I look at my scores and say, how did I do so well? I just can't get it. This probably is not a top EXP game, but it's definitely a game where I did a little bit of damage, not enough to be a record breaker. But if someone said that what I did in this game was stupid, I'd say that they're a fool, and they should try it and do it on their own and see what type of EXP they get before they laugh at me. Unfortunately, because it's a replay, I don't have the game all the way to the end, I can't find out what those EXP values are. I only record them occasionally when I have like a really good game, when I get like 3 or 4 kills, or when I get 5 or 6 kills. I usually write down what my EXP is because it's usually an interesting number. But I get top EXP all the time, so I just don't record it. It's on so many of my games. Okay, so let's move on to the next game. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the Indian Panzer. This is a German Tier 8 medium tank. The map is Karelia. We are doing an assault. It looks like the M46 Patton may also be heading up to the camp base area. I don't know yet. Well, it looks like maybe he isn't, but whatever happens, it's good for me because he'll help me make it there. He'll make it safer for me to go up the middle. And going up in the middle has many advantages, and number one is that it really causes havoc for the enemy team, and it makes it easier for your team to assault the enemy as opposed to sitting back and camping. So you can see I made it here undetected. Nobody spotted me. I'm almost at their at the entrance to their base. They have absolutely no idea that I'm here. Taking shots on their charioteer. Bet you he's wondering who's hitting him. Unspotted, keep on shooting. Let's see if we can kill him. I guess not. Okay, well, you can see I was firing right in front of their base. Didn't seem to matter. My team has not assaulted yet. They're sitting back. You know, it's been almost 2 minutes and they haven't done anything. Now, at this point, you want to spot enemy tanks and you want your allies to snipe on them as much as possible. They're a lot more vulnerable when they're far away because they don't realize that they're vulnerable, and you've got the crossfire. They've got to hide from 3 different directions. That's the bush that you roll into. You can see some perhaps artillery fire went in after that tank, but you just roll into this bush. You get a little bit of extra place to hide. You need to scope out and estimate how many tanks are in front of you. It looks like there's only 1, but there could be more. Usually the tanks on your left are not a problem. It's the ones that are in front of you or on the right that are the problem. You can see that I've got an ally. It looks like he's the M46 who came across also. And it looks like we lost in the northeast. Score is 3-5, but we're also at their base, and they don't like it when you roll onto their base, and now that siren is going off. So initially, they're thinking, oh, let's all go kill the SPG, but now they hear that siren, and some of them are going to have to return to the base and expose themselves. I would say that sitting here doing nothing is not a good move. I don't know why I sat there, but sitting there doing nothing is a really stupid move. Maybe I was waiting for my allies to show up. But you want to double team these guys. Start nailing them. Do the double team. Hit him hard. One more shot and he's dead. Maybe not. Kill him off. Now we control their base and they got to kick us out. They got a problem. And I'm pretty safe over there too. Scores 5-8. Most of my team seems to be on the other side of the map though, which is a little scary. I don't think this is going to turn out well. Ouch. Okay, so that was the Indian Panzer 1 kill. These videos are, again, not to show you about what a wonderful player I am or about what a crappy player I am. There's always somebody who says, oh, you're a stupid idiot, you're a dumb fool. These videos are to show you what the maneuver is, how to do it. It's up to you what to do when you get there. I consider this successful, considering that it's 5-10, and I've only got 2 other tanks on my team and the 2 SPGs. This was a very successful maneuver. We probably pulled the enemy back from the outskirts. It's sad that we lost. Unfortunately, I think that we were losing already at the point that I arrived at the base. The enemy was probably very aggressive. Okay, so that's the game, and let's move on. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the STI. It's a Russian Tier 9 heavy tank, and the map is Karelia. Some people accidentally call this tank the ST1. It is, in fact, the STI. And it's going to go to show you that even a slow tank such as the STI can make it to the enemy base in the assault mode. And I'm going to do it in this game. You can see I'm moving along pretty slowly. Like I said, I've done it with a TOG multiple times. I haven't found a replay yet with a TOG. But this is the STI, same path I would take with any other tank. Go through the trees, stay near the rocks. This is the old map, so it's not going to have the big outcropping at the entrance, and it's not going to have the safe area for the SPGs. You'll notice that we've got the LTTB is already at the entrance, and the T-49 is on a side flank. So we've already spotted 2 of their SPGs. And this was kind of one of the great things about the game. If you have a fast tank, like if I had that LTTB, I would have rolled up, spotted those SPGs, our SPGs would have taken them out, or I would have killed as many as I could. But then they changed the map so you can't do it anymore. You'll also notice that I've got lots of replays. I probably played Karelia Assault about 30 to 40 times in the past 2 months, and this is one of the few games where another ally went up the middle, to show you how rarely it happens. And you know, you play the game, you know how often it happens. It doesn't happen that often, although it is becoming a little bit more popular, especially in the higher tier games and in the games that have lots of light tanks. As you can see, when I was playing in the lower tier games, I was the only one doing it. And it's like I said, I invented this technique like 1.5 years ago. I was the only one doing it back then. It was really rare. I never saw anybody else do it back then. But then when I came back around May, I would see almost every game I would see someone try and come up the middle. But because I had so much experience, I know how to handle when they come up the middle. I know how to defend against it really well. So the STI finally made it. Ooh, nice shot. Now, what the LTTB is doing, I don't know what he's doing, but this is a safe area for him. But you can see he should be popping into the bushes, not into the nothing. You know, he's safer if he uses those bushes. But it is good for him to spot tanks and allow his allies to kill as many of those tanks as possible. It's 6-1. There's danger everywhere. Yeah, this is really bad for me. I shouldn't be in this position. But, you know, I did what I did. I do have to be honest. Sometimes I'm so excited to be able to roll into the base, and I'm so eager to hit enemy targets that I would go in a little bit too deep, and I was obviously surrounded by enemy tanks. There were too many enemy tanks. It was unwise for me to advance this far. This was actually a game perhaps from 2 or 3 months ago. I've obviously learned my lesson. I would not do that now. Most of the videos that I have where I did well, I did not do stupid things. Like, I don't cross over the base anymore. And I know that if you stay what would be in this direction, that side of the map over here, then the people on this side of the map have a really tough time hitting you because of the slope of the land. Okay, so it's sad that it didn't work out. I got 1 kill. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. Let's move on to the next video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the AMX 1390. It's a French Tier 8 light tank. The map is Karelia in assault mode. I'm on the assaulting team, and I'm going to assault up the middle in the D4 right into their base area. Normally I don't take this path. Normally I follow through the trees and the rocks and all that. I don't know why I took this little detour here. It's possible that this was a game where I had an issue with the ping time. And it looks like I got spotted and retreated, and it's unusual for me to play like this because I've been playing the same way for like 2 years. I always have been going up the middle. I can't remember the last time I did not go up the middle. And like I said, it's been 2 years since I've taken the northern corner or the southern corner. So I go up the middle. You want to wait to become unspotted. You see somebody showed up for some reason to help out. Very easy. There used to be more trees over here, I think, based on my memory. You just go from rock to rock and get as close as you can. I think there's a lot more rocks on the northern side. I have more success on the northern side. You want to get as close to that ridge on the enemy side as possible. If you're there, the enemy can't shoot at you over the ridge, and your allies usually can. I don't know why I'm pointing out something right in front of me. Maybe there's a tank in front of me, and I just... Yeah, there is. Oh, you know what? I probably saw a tree fall down, so I knew there was a tank in front of me, and he got blowed up good. Let's rewind that. I think somehow I knew there was a tank right in front of me. Let's rewind it. Double rewind. So I'm sitting here. For some reason I sat here and I knew there was a tank there. I wonder how. So I'm going to keep a closer eye on the screen here. Yeah, you see that? A tree fell down right there. So I knew that there was a tank in front of me. I saw the tree fall down. That's why you don't knock down trees. And he blowed up good. Okay, so I'm sure I'm going to continue my advance. There's a chance that I might actually reload. You can see that the enemy has probably spread out. I don't expect to encounter anybody else. Yeah, there goes the reload. One of the things that I'm doing a little bit differently is instead of going up the middle, I'm going up around on this flank just to change things up a little bit. That's probably why I decided to go this way, to see if it's easier, but it isn't. So that was one of the attempts that I made. I don't know, it was sometime in the past month to do a different flank. Like I said, I wanted to do it to see if it was easier than going up the middle. It looks like I was spotted, but the good news is there is a bush there that you can use to maneuver your way in, and this is going to be one of the techniques I'm going to be exploring in the future to see if I can get some sort of an edge on the enemy. So let's get into another game. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com. The tank is the Ag Tiger. It's a German Tier 8 tank destroyer. The map is Karelia. You'll notice that I am taking one of the slowest tanks in the game, and I'm going to do an assault maneuver going up the middle to the D4 area. It's actually a great maneuver. You can do it with any tank. I've done it with the TOG 2. I've done it with other slow tanks. I've done it with heavy tanks, light tanks, medium tanks, tank destroyers. It's a great technique. Very few people are willing to do it. You're going to get to spot the enemy first. If you have a lot of artillery, you're probably going to get a lot of spotting damage. It used to be that you would roll up over the hill and immediately see the enemy SPGs, but they changed the map to make it so that they can hide behind the mountains. You can see I've been spotted, so I'm going to roll back a little bit. When you get spotted, you want to find solid cover, because once you get spotted, it takes a couple of seconds for the enemy to turn their guns to you, but you're going to be the first one spotted on your whole team, so everyone on the enemy team is only going to see you. You can see that one of my allies, the 5916, is going up the middle. He's obviously a lot faster than me. And we've got a tank that came down below to challenge, T49. He is a tough tank, but look, he took a dive. We got some ricochets. I'm absolutely never going to give up. I always continue on my mission. It looks like our 5916 did not make it up the middle, which is sad. You want to head for the trees, find rocks, find which rock you're going to go to next, find the nearest rock, head for the trees, avoid the water. The water is going to slow you down, and the water doesn't have a lot of trees. Stay under cover as much as possible. If you think one route doesn't work, try a different route, or wait. You can take shots at the enemy. There is a little bit of risk. It looks like in this particular game I'm not hurrying to get to the center, but I guarantee you I'm probably going to continue working on that direction. It looks like my team didn't even occupy in the northeast. We totally gave it up. Or maybe we had one tank there, but there's absolutely nobody there now. It is difficult to go up the center, considering that I have such a slow tank, isn't very maneuverable, and right now I'm low on hit points. But you still want to try. Giving up is not you don't earn experience by giving up. So this looks like it's going to be a game where I'm continuing to advance, so let's cross our fingers. Oh yeah, he's a tough boy. Okay, so this one didn't work out, but we're going to move on to the next video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the Black Prince. This is a British Tier 7 heavy tank. The map is Karelia. This is an assault map. You can see that even with this slow tank, I can assault up the middle. I'm going to be heading along through the river. I'm going to try to stay in the trees as much as possible and use the rocks for cover. When I first invented this technique about 2 years ago, I could have sworn there were a lot more trees back then. I think that the trees have been thinned out now. Number two, when I did this 2 years ago, I was absolutely the only person doing this. I was the only person assaulting through the middle. I was the only person defending. Like when I would defend, nobody would come through the middle. So that's, or occasionally, I'd say 1 out of every 20 games. Now everybody does this technique. That's why it's important to learn it. Although people do, light tanks occasionally go out in the middle, but we're talking about heavy tanks. Heavy tanks, medium tanks, whatever you got, tank destroyers. You want to own this game. If you get up through the center, what used to happen is you used to spot all their SPGs, spot all their campers. Your SPGs would take them out, but they changed the map back there, so now the SPGs have a place to hide. They didn't have it before. And it used to be sad. I used to roll up the middle, spot the SPGs, they'd get destroyed immediately. So now it's a little bit more difficult. As you can see, even with a slow tank, you can still advance through the trees. Obviously, it takes longer to get there. There are advantages when you have a slow tank. You're going to have less resistance because the enemy will spread out. If you have a fast tank, you're going to show up in the middle, and their whole team's still going to be at the base. I absolutely advise you to take advantage of shooting at anybody you can. If they see that, okay, so being spotted is not a good thing. Being spotted means you're going to have to duck for cover. You're going to have to duck for cover and sit it out because you don't know who spotted you, and you're going to have to find a different route and hope that they don't spot you when you continue moving. You can see perhaps that was an artillery shot. And keep in mind when you do this maneuver, if you get spotted, chances are you're going to be the first person spotted. There's a lot of people shooting at me, 4 or 5 different areas. I suppose a better strategy would have been to sit there and to sit it out for a minute and let your allies distract the enemy. Once the enemy gets distracted, you'll be able to sneak up again. So I'm very low on hit points, but I'm still advancing. The closer you are, the safer you are. The closer you can get to that ridge in front of you, absolutely you're far safer being close to that ridge. Most tanks won't dive over the ridge. I absolutely will. If I see a tank coming up the center, I go after him. Okay, so that was the game. We're not going to get into a long discussion about what happened. It obviously was not a successful attempt. I've got a lot of videos to show you. Let's move on to the next video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank I am playing is a Type 4 Cheeto. It's a Japanese Tier 6 medium tank. The map is Karelia. As you can see, me and my clan member, Dreamer25, who's actually right behind me, we are going to do a move where we are going to go up the middle and try to enter the enemy base going right through the middle. And you can see we've got 2 light tanks on the team that are also doing this. This is a technique that I came up with about 2 years ago. I know that at the time nobody else was doing it except for me. You'd occasionally see a light tank in the middle. However, times have changed. Now everybody does this maneuver. But this video is to show you how to do it, how easy it is, so that you can learn from my mistakes. These videos were all recorded in the last, these replays are all from the last month or 2. They did change the entranceway over here to make it a little bit more difficult. I don't know why, and I don't think it makes a difference either way. You can see that my clanmate has been hit, but I made it through successfully. Now there's a bush on the right. You want to use that bush for some protection. You can see that the tanks at the base have already received damage, which is unusual, but that's what you want. You want them to be dead. You're going to have to decide on your own how you're going to defend yourself. You know, if you want to use the sharpshooter mode, or if you want to use the the auto aim, but the auto aim does pose to have its problems over here because you have to expose more of your tank. But there's advantages too. Okay, so you can see I only have 37 hit points left. They are coming after us, but our allies out in the distance there are definitely supporting us. That tank tried to come in after us, but someone did kill him. Okay, so it didn't work out for me. My clanmate there is still here. He has joined me perhaps a few times on this mission. Many advantages to doing this maneuver. You spot tanks, you get the spotting damage, you get the additional experience from shooting your own tanks that you've spotted yourself. Your allies only have these targets. These are the only tanks that are spotted, so your allies from all over the map will be shooting at these tanks. So it's actually very safe. We're going to move on to the next video. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-37. It's an American Tier 6 light tank, and the map is Karelia. My standard maneuver every time I play this game, I go up the middle, I go through these trees, try to not to crash into the rocks, use them for cover, head for directly for their base, spot their SPGs, kill whoever's at the base. With a faster tank, it's a lot easier to do it than with a slow tank. You definitely want to get good camo on all of your tanks. As you can see, I've been spotted. For me, it's no big deal. I've done this so many times. I know how to deal with tanks. You know, I've had 2 or 3 tanks chasing after me before. When you're that guy is very vulnerable. My team could easily take out that tank. But now that he disappeared, you want to respot him as quickly as possible, because right now my allies cannot do anything about it. I want my allies to hit him. I want the SPG to hit him. I want him to come out and show himself. Hopefully my team will hit him. Looks like they did not. Okay, so we've got some incoming shots. You definitely want to maneuver so that your allies can hit them. Okay, so it didn't work out for me. They didn't hit him until after I had already died. And perhaps I could have done a better job maneuvering him and spotting him a little bit early. I'm shocked that my allies did not hit him. He was clear out in the open. And we had 2 tank destroyers up on the ridge there, and the Chiri. It could be that they were out of range. I don't know. I've seen it happen before. But let's move on to the next video. Yeah, hello. This is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank I am playing is the T-25/2. It's an American Tier 7 tank destroyer, and the map is Karelia. You'll notice that I had to cross over my allies. Every time I play this map, since the past 2 years, I go straight up the middle. As you can see, the M41 Bulldog is preceding me. The technique is very simple. You primarily stay in the trees and the bushes. You have to pay attention for where the rocks are. If you're spotted, you're free to shoot at enemy tanks. Usually I make it, and occasionally I don't, but for the most part I have success getting to the middle entry point. It has its risks and it has its rewards. For example, you're going to get shot at a lot, you're going to spot a lot of tanks, you're going to get spotting damage. This would be an unsuccessful attempt. Okay, so that was an unsuccessful attempt. But this is not a video to show you how great of a player I am or how bad of a player I am. It's to show you how easy it is and how often I get to the middle. And we're going to go through all of my videos, and I'm going to show you what happens and what doesn't happen. I would say 90% of the time nobody notices you and you make it right up to the center. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the M41 Walker Bulldog. It's an American Tier 7 light tank, and the map is Karelia in assault mode. You can see I'm doing something a little bit different. Normally, I go up the middle. But one of the things I decided to do apparently in this game is to see what it would be like to do some sniping from the middle area. In fact, I just had an idea. Normally when I go up the middle, I take a route on the north or on the south and head for their base. But you could just as well do it from here. And you can see that we have a Chaffee that is in the midfield. And there is a heavy tank in the D8 area, which is in an odd position. Okay, so I'm going to advance at 20 seconds. You can see now I'm on the lower level, and one of my allies, I can't see who it is perhaps the Chaffee, has decided to go up the middle, and he's spotted the AMX 1375, and now I am going, but because he's at the middle, I'm going to take the left flank, apparently. I didn't review these before I decided to record them. So, it goes to show you that I just rolled up into here. Obviously, I didn't die on the way here. And it's very easy to do. I was in the middle of the map, you can see on the elevated area, and I just rolled forward across the field. Now, this particular video does not show me going into their camp, so I'm going to stop the video, because this compilation of videos is about going up the middle. And I don't know if I can switch to another tank or not. No, I guess I can't. Okay, so I'm sure I can because it's a replay. But I'm not going to worry about it. But it shows you that I was in the middle up on the elevated hill in the sniping position. Shows you what happened in the middle, that I had an ally going up the middle, and that I was able to cross over without being spotted, even though I decided to end up taking a different route. So that's the video. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the IS-2. This is a Chinese Tier 7 heavy tank. The map is Karelia. It's an assault game. I'm on the assaulting team. You can see I'm doing my standard maneuver. I'm going to try to go up the middle, which is basically I'm going to try to roll right into their camp. We've got what appears to be 2 SPGs. This is the exact path you want to take. I've already been spotted. You've got a place to hide behind that rock. Someone's already taken shots. Over here, you're going to sit for a couple of seconds to become unspotted. Hope to not take any further damage. You don't want to alert the enemy team, because if you alert the enemy team, they will sit at their base and wait for you. You want them to leave their base and spread out. It'll make it easier for you to assault. And there's a tank that's, I believe, is a Lux. And it looks like they've got 2 enemy tanks. The E-25 and the Lux, they have to go at all costs. You have to get rid of those tanks, or they're going to be a pain in the butt for a lot of people. So I'm slowly making my way forward. We've got a lot of tanks we've got to deal with now. The T-20 has showed up. Looks like I can't hit the E-25. It's going to be a slow trek to that entranceway. Wow, I bet he didn't like that. In one shot, he lost 95% of his hit points. And he's dead now. Okay, so I guess I'm unaware of the fact that I've cleared out the enemy tanks over there. For me to go up here is a complete waste of time. Okay, so that was a failed attempt to go up the middle. The plan was to go up the middle. Like I said, I don't know. I must have thought that there were still enemy tanks up here, which must have confused me. But let's not worry about it. Let's move on to the next game. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the M41 Walker Bulldog. This is an American Tier 7 light tank. The map is Karelia in assault mode. I'm going to go up the middle. As you've heard me say, it's a little bit more difficult to do it on the southern side. There's fewer rocks for cover. Maybe the trees are laid out differently. I don't know. I just don't feel as good about the southern side, and I think that they've thinned out the trees as compared to when I used to play a year and a half ago. You can see we've spotted a few tanks already, and they have to be dealt with immediately. That light tank that's in the middle of the map has to go, and you can see he's already on his way to going. My allies are taking him out. He only needs one more shot and he's gone. And I'm already in a secure position. I haven't taken any damage. I'm going to easily go right through the center. It used to be easier, but for some reason they changed the rock formation to make it more difficult. Now what this guy is doing is exactly what you should do. You have to defend this entranceway at all costs. Unfortunately, my allies really hit him hard. And somebody behind me who was unspotted unfortunately hit me also. But what he did was the right thing. Even if you have to risk your life, at all costs you take out anybody who tries to come up the center. Look at the map. My allies are all the way in the corner. They have not assaulted yet. When I go up the middle, it changes everything. It lights up everybody at their base. They start taking shots from all over, and it really builds the confidence of your team, and it totally changes the whole game. And in fact, anyone who's out there defending in the fringes, they have to turn around to come back to deal with me. So it really makes it easier for your team to assault. That's why you have to take these tanks out at all costs. Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-34-2. This is probably a Chinese Tier 8 medium tank. The map is Karelia in the assault mode. This is a maneuver I do. It pays off. You're going to get, if you spot tanks, cause a little bit of damage, you're going to get a lot of EXP. It's fun to play. It's very challenging. You're going to surprise a lot of tanks. You can turn the tide in the game. You can cause the enemy to retreat, to come back to their base. You can find their snipers. Look at that. There's some guy over here, IS-6, hiding in the middle of the swamp. What's he doing over there? He thought he was going to surprise somebody. You just uncovered him. But hopefully my allies will take him out. It looks like it didn't work out very well for this game. But that just shows you one of the things that happened in this particular game. Take a look at the map. You see most of my team are going to the north. Almost nobody's going to the south. I have no idea why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's like 5 people out of my range, apparently. I thought I had a good radio. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have a good radio. You know what? That's a good point. You should have a good radio when you do this. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next video. This is one of the fails, obviously. It's very rare that something like this happens. In fact, I think it's the only time I've seen a heavy tank in the past 15 of these videos that I've reviewed. Okay, so let's move on to the next video.